Borlotti beans, sometimes called cranberry beans, are a staple in Italian kitchens. Their creamy texture and nutty, slightly sweet flavor make them a favorite in soups, stews, and salads. But when you introduce a sweet agrodolce sauce to the mix, something magical happens. Agrodolce, which literally means sour-sweet in Italian, is a centuries-old sauce that brings together the brightness of vinegar with the mellow sweetness of sugar or honey. This classic combination elevates Borlotti beans from humble pantry staple to a dish worthy of the spotlight. Imagine the beans cooked until perfectly tender, their skins mottled with pink and cream, quietly soaking up the flavors around them. Now, imagine the agrodolce sauce, a glossy, syrupy glaze that dances between tangy and sweet, flecked with golden onions, plump raisins, and perhaps a whisper of chili. As soon as the sauce hits the beans, their earthy richness is transformed. The beans become a canvas, each bite layered with vibrant, contrasting notes. A testament to how the simplest ingredients, when treated with care and creativity, can become something extraordinary. To understand what makes agrodolce so special, it helps to know a bit about its history. Italians have been balancing sweet and sour for generations, often as a way to preserve the harvest or to add complexity to otherwise simple dishes. The sauce is especially beloved in Sicily and other southern regions, where it's used to glaze vegetables, meats, and seafood. Its adaptability is legendary. Sometimes red wine vinegar is used, other times white. Sugar might be swapped for honey or even fruit syrups. It's a sauce that invites experimentation, a living link to the past that's still evolving in home kitchens today. When you pair agrodolce with Borlotti beans, you're not just tossing together two ingredients, you're orchestrating a symphony of textures and flavors. The beans provide a creamy backbone, their subtle sweetness enhanced by the sauce, while the vinegar cuts through with a richness, keeping every bite lively and fresh. Add in the chewy pop of golden raisins, the mellow savoriness of gently sautéed onions, and perhaps a scattering of toasted pine nuts or fresh herbs. And you have a dish that feels at once comforting and sophisticated. Let's walk through how this transformation happens, step by step. It begins with the beans. If you're starting with dried Borlotti beans, soak them overnight in plenty of cold water. This softens their skins and ensures even cooking. The next day, drain and rinse the beans, then place them in a pot with fresh water, a bay leaf, and perhaps a clove of garlic or a sprig of rosemary for background flavor. Gently simmer until the beans are tender but not falling apart. This usually takes about an hour. If you're using canned beans, simply drain and rinse them well. Meanwhile, the agrodolce sauce takes shape in a wide skillet. Thinly slice a yellow onion and set it over medium heat with a generous glug of olive oil. Let the onions cook slowly, stirring often, until they're soft and golden but not browned. This gentle cooking coaxes out their natural sweetness, forming the base of the sauce. At this point, you'll add a handful of golden raisins or sultanas. These will absorb the flavors around them and plump up beautifully. Now comes the balance. Add a splash of good quality red or white wine vinegar, letting it sizzle and reduce slightly. The tangy aroma will rise up, mingling with the sweetness of the onions and raisins. Then, sprinkle in a spoonful or two of sugar or honey. Stir well, allowing the sugar to dissolve and the sauce to thicken into a glossy, syrupy glaze. Taste as you go. The sauce should be bright and lively, but not overwhelming. Adjust the vinegar or sweetness if needed, aiming for that perfect balance that makes agrodolce so irresistible. At this point, the beans are ready to meet the sauce. Tip the drained Borlotti beans into the skillet, gently folding them into the agrodolce until every bean is coated in the fragrant, glossy glaze. Let them simmer together for a few minutes so the beans can absorb the flavors. Taste again, adjusting salt and pepper as needed. If you like, finish with a pinch of red chili flakes for subtle heat, or a splash of extra virgin olive oil for richness. The finished dish is a marvel. The beans are creamy and tender, their natural flavor heightened by the agrodolce. Each bite is a play of sweet and sour, savory and bright. The raisins providing little bursts of sweetness, the onions melting into the glaze. Serve the beans warm, perhaps as part of an antipasto platter, piled onto toasted bread, or alongside roasted meats or grilled vegetables. They're equally delicious at room temperature or even cold, their flavors deepening as they sit. But the magic of Agrodolce Borlotti beans doesn't stop there. The dish is endlessly adaptable, a canvas for your creativity. Try adding toasted pine nuts or chopped pistachios for crunch, or stir in a handful of fresh herbs, parsley, mint, or basil all work beautifully. For a Sicilian twist, add a few capers or green olives, their briny sharpness playing off the sweet and sour sauce. You might even toss in some slow-roasted cherry tomatoes or slivers of roasted red pepper for extra color and flavor. What's remarkable about this combination is how it manages to feel both rustic and refined. It's a dish that would be at home in a countryside trattoria or at a festive dinner table, a reminder that great food doesn't have to be complicated. The secret is in the balance, each element supporting the others, creating a whole that's greater than the sum of its parts. Beyond their incredible flavor, Borlotti beans bring a wealth of nutrition to the table. They're packed with plant-based protein, fiber, and essential minerals like iron and magnesium. Pairing them with agrodolce sauce not only makes them more delicious, but also more satisfying. A dish that's as nourishing as it is flavorful. For those seeking plant-based meals that don't sacrifice satisfaction, Agrodolce Borlotti beans are a revelation. The sauce adds so much depth and excitement that you'll never miss the meat. Serve them with a peppery arugula salad and crusty bread for a simple lunch, or as part of a larger spread with roasted squash, sautéed greens, and tangy cheeses. They're a wonderful addition to grain bowls, too. Try spooning them over farro or brown rice, topped with toasted nuts and a drizzle of lemony yogurt. And if you're looking for make-ahead options, this dish is your friend. The beans only improve as they sit, their flavors melding and deepening over time. Make a big batch and stash them in the fridge. They'll be ready to enliven salads, sandwiches, or simple pasta dishes throughout the week. You can even puree the leftovers into a creamy spread, swirling in more agrodolce for a vibrant, unexpected dip. In the end, what sets Agrodolce Borlotti beans apart is the way they invite you to pause and savor. The sauce isn't just a glaze. It's a story, a memory, a celebration of contrasts. It's proof that even the simplest foods, prepared with care and imagination, can be utterly transporting. That first bite, with its interplay of sweet and sour, soft and chewy, familiar and new, is a reminder of the endless possibilities waiting in your own kitchen. So the next time you reach for a can of beans or a scoop of dried borlottis, think about what they could become. With a handful of pantry staples and a little patience, you can create a dish that's so much more than the sum of its parts. A dish that honors tradition while inviting your own twist. A dish that brings people together around the table to share something truly special. This is the magic of agrodolce and the humble borlotti bean taken to the next level.